Sup everyone, my name's Christian. I run a content growth agency that works with top performing creators to help them generate more money from their content with predictable sales systems. Now, from all the creators I've worked with and the creators that I've just looked into in general, I see one major archetype at the moment in the current content space that is really struggling. They're struggling to really make money from their content. And with the implementation of like AI and AI UGC, it's absolutely killing some of these creators. So in this video, I wanted to go over this archetype of creator that is really facing a lot of issues, go over kind of what they are facing and then how they can actually fix it, and then how you can implement this fix into whatever content you are creating, because this is a major issue across any content creator. So if you're a content creator, this video is going to be so valuable to you as you're probably facing this problem. Now, I want to go over the three creators in this relative archetype that I want to be talking about. First is Alex, who focuses on very cinematic and high quality videography. His videos get millions and millions of views, nearly 500,000 on Instagram. Then we got Spencer, who doesn't really create the kind of cinematic stuff that Alex and John does, but he really focuses on very high quality content, but more focus on kind of that tech space. Then we've also got John, who creates, again, like Alex, very cinematic, very high quality content. Some of his later videos have got like millions and millions of views, over 500,000 on Instagram. You would 100% either seen Alex or John's content on Instagram at least once, like their content has been doing so well. And these three creators are all in an archetype of creating very high quality content, very valuable content to people, whether that be entertaining or educational. But the issue that they all face is a struggle to monetize. And that's what I want to fix in this video. That's why I want to go over and suggest some fixes on how you can implement these changes and how these guys could implement these changes if they were watching this video. Now, the biggest issue is the views they get and then the money they make. Typically, you would want to see some correlation between the money they make and the views they get. If they get 10 million views, you want to be making, say, 100K per month, but that just doesn't happen. It's not that green, very normal graph that you would think that when views increase, so should the amount of money that you're going to gain. The reality is, for a lot of these creators, is they'll get the views, yes, but they won't get the money. They'll only make maybe 5, 10K per month when they're getting 10 plus millions of views. That is not to say, like, there is educational content creators out there right now who literally have 20,000 followers on Instagram, but make, say, 50K a month just from knowing how to position their content well and what forms of distribution are going to be the best and how to actually convert those leads. As the leads that these, say, 20,000 follower creators get, maybe they literally get 5,000 views per post, but they're able to make 5 to 10 times more money than these creators that literally have like 500,000 on Instagram. So that's a big issue right now. And the main fix for this is literally moving yourself away from branded sponsorships and working with these large companies. Now, if I was a large company, I wouldn't want to hear that. But the reality also is that these creators, they rely heavily, maybe not John's at the moment, but Alex and Spencer, they heavily rely on affiliates, brand partnerships, and brands reaching out to them to say, hey, we're going to give you X amount of money and you're going to give us 3 reels using our product. You're going to give us 1 reel using our product, talking about how amazing it is and giving us a review, whatever that may look like, right? However, AI is absolutely killing the space. AI is really shifting these large companies to be using AI UGC, where they can hop on Sora 2 and get literally the perfect archetype of creator that they want to be filming and using their content, and then they can run ads on that. And they don't need to pay any of these large creators to do that because they can just use an AI generated person. And they're also now moving to smaller creators, as these smaller creators are seen to be more authentic, and it moves the kind of market away from these large creators who are getting millions and millions of views, but they aren't getting the brand sponsorships anymore. Like, the market is shifting. So that's why I wanted to talk about this archetype, as this archetype is the most valued in like the money they can make, but also just don't make enough money relative to what they could be. Now, as I said, the main issue is relying too heavily on branded sponsorships and outside money. Instead, you want to be bringing all your ways to make money. You want to bring that internal. You want to be controlling everything yourself, as that way you can have predictable results that's going to generate you a lot of money relative to the amount of views that you're getting, which is not seen in all of these guys. Now, I'm just going to quickly go over their actual funnels just to give you an idea of what they're doing and then how we can improve it. Now, for Alex, obviously you can see here, his content's quite good. If I go to literally the link in his bio, he is selling something, right? So he is starting to move towards trying to generate money for himself and bring that thing internal and start selling a digital product. However, if I scroll this, there's not much information here. It's very hard to say, is this going to be valuable? There's no really examples of how this could be used myself. There's not really any copy or anything like that. Now, I don't want to go over these All Guys funnels and just kind of hammer them with what everything they're doing wrong, but I do really want to highlight that they could be doing so much more because they have sick content. They have some of the best content. Their content is so high quality, yet when I click on their bio, I don't see that, right? So that's a real big disconnect that a lot of creators have, is they have an amazing content style. They have a really cool content style, yet they can't transition that into selling a product, which is where content creation is going. Content creation and personal brands is a real good front and top of funnel way to push people to a product, to an actual business, because anyone, can be a content creator, but it's hard for a lot of these content creators to really turn it into a business. But that's where the money's made. The money isn't necessarily made in just filming content here and there. And yes, you may have 500,000 on Instagram, but are you making any money from that? So with Alex at the moment, he's obviously trying to move toward that. The issue is there's not enough copy here, and there's honestly too much stuff here. Even though it's only like 4 or 5 products, if you're selling a product off the back of your content, if you're getting millions of views, you just want to make sure you're selling one product. At the start, you can obviously diversify and move into more products as you go on. But the less products you have, and if you can just push to one simple product that fixes one thing, you're going to generate so much more money. It's going to be so much easier for you to start off and really get a good idea of, does my audience like this and how can I improve on it? If you start throwing stuff at the wall and seeing if your audience likes it, they're going to go from your content, they're going to click your bio, and they're going to be like, okay, what do I do here? Where do I go? What can I actually buy from this? There's too much stuff. I'm quite confused. And that's even seen in Spencer's. So if you have a look at Spencer's content, again, very high quality content. I go click his bio, which is here, and I'm bombarded with what do I click on? At least with Alex, it's very simple. He pushes to a website. He's only got a couple of products. Obviously, it could be more refined, just so it's pushing to a real solution. However, with Spencer, there's a lot of stuff here. And I think it's a real issue with creators. As I said, you shouldn't have to rely on too many companies reaching out to you to fund your lifestyle and fund your life. Because if I click on your Linktree, which I've done here, I'm just bombarded with everything. Like, why should I want to buy a smart home? Why should I want to buy a portable projector setup? And if I just click on these, I look at this and I think that looks like a drop shipping store, right? And you don't want that. That hurts so much your brand. And that's what I hate to see with this creator archetype is they get all these views. They have really good, if I click on his content, it is super high quality, right? It's very good editing. It's very well paced, a very good camera. And then I want to buy from him. I'm like, wow, I want to learn from this guy. I want to buy from this guy. Surely he has something valuable to give to me. I click on his Linktree and I get hit with a smart home that looks like I'm about to get scammed for $3,000. There's a huge disconnect. And as soon as a lead or just a viewer sees that and gets that disconnect, they're gone. They are not buying from me anymore. And yes, you do have a lot of options for people to buy something, but the conversion is just going to be so low because there's no value in this and it looks like a scam. So I really do think creators make this mistake of trying to get brands and affiliates and really push that to the audience, but the affiliates are low quality. It looks like you're a bit of a sellout and you're not putting any value into your audience, not teaching or giving them any value. So why should they be putting or giving you any money at all? And then if you look at John's, obviously he's a little bit different from Alex and Spencer. He's not selling anything, but he still would be doing partnerships here and there. And he has the ability to kind of lead into what I'm just about to talk about, which is building your own internal way and your own internal business where you can sell stuff to your audience and not have to rely on outside brands. You can control everything. You control the value, you control the quality, and you can make sure it is in your audience's best interest to buy from you. Now, John is probably the best starting point here as he, by the looks of it, isn't really selling anything. Doesn't have anything in his bio. Maybe he's done a couple partnerships with some sponsorships with high quality brands, and it doesn't look polluted at all. There's nothing that says this guy's a seller at all. This content is very high quality. But for example, if John wanted to start making a lot of money from his content, I would highly suggest he creates a spin-off account talking about how he does what he does. Because if he was to start switching his content and talk really educational about how he creates his videos, what the color grading looks like, what's his camera setup, etc., that would just pollute his kind of timeline here. However, he could easily create a spin-off account, whether that be a YouTube or just another Instagram account, that really leans into how he creates his vids, how he lives his lifestyle, And that would be an immediate authority as someone is telling you how they did something, and he's got the authority. He's got the 500,000 plus on Instagram, and he's got the receipts. So if he is in the space telling people how to do stuff, people are going to listen to him, and he's going to have such a competitive advantage. And that's the thing with all of these guys. These guys have such a competitive advantage to guys that have literally 10 times less followers than them, but are making more money on them just because the guys with less followers, they know something that these guys don't, which is how to sell their product. And that's why I think there's a huge way for these guys that have thousands and thousands and thousands of followers to be making so much more money, but they just can't because they're getting your own ad. And that can be said for maybe you if you're watching this video. If you're a smaller creator, just be very careful what you fall into. If you're getting some good growth right now, which I see a lot of creators do, they work hard for a really good amount of time and they start to see results and they start to blow up and they say, okay, wow, I just got a sponsorship. Some guy's reaching out to me. This brand's asking, or not asking, sorry, they're going to give me $8,000 for a couple of reels, but then you're kind of just selling out. So I really think the biggest thing for a lot of creators now, and the biggest trend that I see, especially in the info space, is a lot of creators are moving to wanting to sell their own products. They want to sell something they're passionate in, they have authority in, and they know they can provide value to their audience. As if I click on a lot of these, right? If I click on someone's thing and I see them trying to sell out with a bunch of stuff, it doesn't show any real trust for their audience, and it doesn't show that they want to provide value to their audience, which might be not in line with how they actually feel, but it just looks like that. And I think that's a huge issue. So the fix is, as I just said, if you're, say, in John's position, you're creating very cinematic content, but you don't want to pollute your kind of timeline here, switch to a smaller, more niche channel where you can talk about how you got to that position, like what are the skills involved, how you did it, what was the learning process, talk about how you can do it, how someone can replicate it, and then you can sell a product off the back of that, whether that be a community, coaching, a one-off digital product, could be in-person events where you literally for like a couple $1,000s, you get people in, you hold an in-person event, teaching them how to use videography. It could be creating your own brand or products around your filmmaking and then selling that. It could be anything. John has such an amazing position here as he can do anything, but it starts with kind of moving to more educational content that focuses on selling a product that's built by you and controlled by you. Same with Spencer. If Spencer literally took all his knowledge from all these tech products and pushed it into even just a simple newsletter that goes over the top tech stuff out that week and how to use them, is this worth it, should you buy it, build an email list from that, and then sell some kind of community, sell some kind of product where people can learn more about the quality tech that's really going to help them out within their life, within their videography, within their business, whatever that may be. Like there's so much tech coming out right now. If you can like funnel out a little bit in the market where you can tell people, hey, there is so much stuff coming out right now. I'm an authority. I've created so much content on this. I've reviewed so many products. When something comes out, I'm going to tell you if it's worth it. And if it is worth it, I'm going to tell you like maybe how you can get it cheaper, how you can use it to the best of your abilities. And I'm going to filter all of this kind of fluff in the air to whether you should buy something. And that's valuable for a lot of people who have money, who want to improve their setups, who want to improve their homes, whatever it may be, whatever they want to use the tech for. You can be that authority to say, hey, I've reviewed everything. Is this going to be a good buy for you? And then you can sell that knowledge. You can sell that expertise. And that's what it all is. All of these creators have expertise that they can sell, but they're just not. And they're relying on outside brands who are paying them, but it's polluting their timeline, it's polluting their brand image, and they don't have control of it, which is a huge issue. And in the coming years, control of what you sell is going to be so, so big. So then for Alex, again, he's on the right path. He's selling his own product, but then now we move into how to create a good quality funnel. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the video, is have one product. So one product, one simple product to audience, and that's going to be the best way to start. In my opinion, for a lot of these film guys, they have so much expertise in filming, how to film, how to color grade, how to edit, pacing, everything like that. There's so much within filmmaking and how to create these super cinematic videos that not many people know, and the people that do know don't really know how to do it and want to learn how to do it. So for Alex, he could easily selling a kind of one-to-many or one-to-one contact where there is two-way communication. With this, there's no two-way communication. It's just a low-ticket product, right? You buy it, there's no communication with Alex. If I'm a creator like this, I want to get talking to my audience straight away. I want to find out their problems. I want to find out how I can help them more. They're just going to pay me, but you don't price it too high at the start. You literally just launch something where maybe it's a community, maybe it's one-on-one coaching, maybe it's group coaching, just teaching a small group of people how to make their videos a lot better. Maybe he's targeting other creators that are a little bit lower than him in terms of followers and authority, and just say, hey, here's how you can improve your filming. Here's how you can target more people with this style of content. Here are some amazing places that you can go and film. Here's how to set up all this equipment and save some money on this equipment, whatever that may be. He can tell these people, and then he can start to talk to his audience. He's now selling a product that he's fully in control of. People are paying him a lot of money because he's such an authority in the space, as seen by his content and his followers. And he also has two-way communication with them and starts to build a real good idea of what is my audience facing? Like, what are the problems that they are facing? And then from there are so many different pathways on other products you can create. And then you start to create a whole ecosystem around your content. And whatever that may look like, it starts with selling a single product to your audience that aims to build some kind of two-way communication so you can start talking to your audience straight away. That is probably my best piece of advice for any of these creators. If you want to sell a product, if you want to stop relying on all these sponsorships coming to you as soon as you see some growth, and you don't want to sell out and you don't want to have to rely on these brands to fund your lifestyle, to pay your rent, and you want to bring something in-house, which you always should be doing, start with selling a simple product, whatever that may look like, and try to make that first product, make that something where you can communicate with your audience, where there's two-way communication. You can speak to them, you can see what their problems are. You're going to get paid no matter what offer you sell at the start. All of these guys have the authority. They can sell something to their audience will listen to them, and their audience will pay them. And then it's about talking to them, seeing how you can make a difference in their lives, what problems can you solve. And if you see something that replicates every single time you talk to someone and it's a major problem, then you lean into that problem and you sell that problem to your audience. And then you are providing so much value to your audience, and you're also making a lot of money relative to the views you're getting. So that is how to fix the literal creator trap that I see so many creators fall into, especially this archetype of very high quality content, but unable to make a lot of money. Simple fix is move away from relying on brands, bring it in-house, sell one simple product, focus on two-way communication for the product, whether that be coaching, community, in-person events, speak to your audience, see what they need help with, solve their problems. You're going to get paid a lot of money because you have the authority. And when you start out and start talking to your audience, you're going to see a problem that comes up a lot. It might be one or two problems that you keep see coming up again and again and again. And then you lean into that problem and you help solve it, and you build a system to solve it. And then now you're on your way to building a high quality funnel and system to start generating a lot of money from your content relative to your views. And that way you can be in this green line. If you get 10 million views, you generate 100K a month, rather than generating 10 million views, but you're only making, say, 5 to 10K a month. It's very simple when you kind of switch your mindset, and it's hard. Like, it is very hard. I know for a lot of these guys, it would be very hard, and a lot of similar creators who have the followers, and literally, I know, like, you can get paid so much money from these large brands that want to sponsor you and like do partnerships with you. You can get paid a lot of money, and it's like free money, right? It's literally you create a video and you get paid $5,000. However, if you rely on that, you're borderline working a job, and you're borderline working multiple jobs with people that can leave you in an instant. Yes, you may have a contract, but that can get done over. They can leave you, like, it doesn't matter. These are huge companies. They can leave you in the dust instantly. And there's a lot of other creators like yourself. So you have zero control over this one company that might be paying for your rent that month, and they can leave you instantly, and you're in the dust. You don't know what to do. So it leaves so much uncertainty out there. All of these people have skills that they can provide to their audience, to the space in general. They have so much knowledge. It's just about portraying that knowledge to their audience and converting their audience with pure value, communicating that with them, and starting to get an idea of how they can be more valuable to their audience, and just build from there. So if you're a smaller creator, I would highly recommend you really focus on building something internal, build your own product so you can grow your audience, you can grow your followers, you can grow in views. And as you're getting that growth period, as every creator will, if you just put in the work, then you're not relying on any other brands. You're not going to get distracted. You're going to have one product on one ecosystem where you're selling your own product. You know how good it is. You can control the quality. You're not going to get left in the dust. It's predictable results. And that's how you're going to succeed and not fall into this trap of views but no money, and instead have views and money, which is what every creator wants. Now, if you guys like any content from me, put it in the comments. I'll create any kind of content around this content archetype on how content creators can make more money. So if you want me to audit your content, I'll make a video auditing your content. If you have a funnel that you would like me to go over and improve it and suggest some changes, etc., just put it in the comments below. Apart from that, subscribe, watch my other content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.